Good morning. Welcome back. The Secret Service investigation into who brought cocaine into the White House is expected to wrap up as early as today. Joining us now for the very latest, former Secret Service special agent and Newsmax contributor Charles Marino. We're also joined this morning by Politico White House reporter Daniel Lippman. Great to have you both back on. Happy Monday to you. Charles, we'll start with you. So you were with the Secret Service for 20 years. As I see it, we've got three options for who did this. Either it was a member of the Biden family, it was a White House staffer, including a member of the press, or it was a guest. Do you think the Secret Service knows who did this?
Well, according to my sources, Rob, they don't. There are still officially no suspects here. We don't know why that is, considering that this is one of the most secure buildings on the face of the earth. And even though Karine Jean-Pierre wants to stand in the White House press briefing room and scold everybody that they're being irresponsible for asking about this and that there's nothing to see here, it doesn't make this go away. It does not change the facts. And that is, somebody is missing or purposely placed a bag of cocaine in the most secure location in this country. And it needs to be figured out. We need to determine who did this and why, and get to the bottom of it and have some accountability for once with this White House.
Yeah, I agree. We just had our chief White House correspondent with us in the last segment, Daniel, and he said that the Secret Service could wrap its investigation today. If they do and claim that they have no idea who did this, doesn't that only further implicate somebody connected to the Biden family or maybe a Biden family member if they don't give us a name or a suspect?
I think that people are going to naturally raise those types of questions. It doesn't lend a lot of confidence to the public, even if the Secret Service has said we've done everything we can. Still, I think the public would be asking, hey, isn't there, shouldn't we keep this open? Shouldn't we be looking at all avenues? Shouldn't we be waiting for tips from the public? Maybe someone has said something. And so I'm going to be making the calls today to find out what the results of the investigation are, or if maybe they're going to extend the investigation. So we don't know yet, but it clearly is a black eye for the Secret Service until they can find that out. And hopefully the White House is telling the Secret Service, hey, let's turn every stone here.
Yeah. And I'm stunned. 8 days later, we don't have a name or any idea who did this. Daniel, just a quick follow-up. What did you make of the coverage? I'm sorry. The complete lack of coverage over the weekend. This story disappeared over the weekend. No questions for Biden on CNN. Wasn't brought up on the Sunday shows at all. Imagine if this were the Trump administration and a bag of Coke was found and he was president. This story would have led every newscast above the fold in every newspaper. What'd you make of that?
Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of reporters and PR people they're off on the weekend. There's the media cycle sometimes moves on. We know how quick the news cycle is. But I'm sure the Biden White House was breathing a sigh of relief that he wasn't asked about this, that there wasn't as much coverage.
Do you buy that, Daniel? Or you think maybe Karine Jean-Pierre intimidated everybody in the briefing room on Friday, and the rest of the media is sort of trying to cover for the big guy, kind of bury this story. Joe Biden's in England right now. He's going to Lithuania for the NATO summit tomorrow. Maybe just kind of brush this old cocaine story under the rug.
I think it often is what are the new developments? And so if there's not a new development every single day, then the media sometimes says, well, we have to cover what's news. And so let's move on to write about stuff that happened today or happened yesterday. And so I think I wouldn't make it into this, something as people listening to Karine Jean-Pierre. I know that a lot of reporters, they have some issues sometimes with how much they get from her on the podium, and so I don't think they're going to be cowed.
They have issues with how much they don't get from her at the podium. Yeah. But point taken. Charles, to you, I want to get your reaction to that. And if today the Secret Service comes forward and makes a statement or puts out a statement about their investigation, if we don't have a suspect or a name, doesn't that just further perpetuate this? Hey, let's brush it under the rug and move on from this story.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And I think that the Secret Service is well aware of that fact. I mean, Karine Jean-Pierre wants everything to go away, right? We don't have a crisis at the border. We don't have increasing crime around the country. We didn't fail at the withdrawal in Afghanistan. All this stuff is everybody in the world, including all of us here are wrong when we say there's a problem with this. So the fact that we're all still screaming and talking about the fact that cocaine was found in a very secure location in this White House still remains that we're all crazy. And she's right. There's nothing to see here. So, you know, the Secret Service as a law enforcement agency, an independent law enforcement agency, has to manage this. And they have to manage this separate from the way the White House would manage it.
You know the Secret Service, Charles. You know these guys. You were there 20 years. Do you think that they want to get this done and complete with a name and a suspect or whatever and move on?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're all about mission success, whether it's protection or investigation. So I do know for a fact that they're throwing everything at this investigation. My understanding is the cocaine is still at the lab for additional testing, and that they're taking some other investigative measures here. But, you know, one of the things you also need here when you're conducting an investigation is the cooperation of the administration. And I'm pretty sure that they're not getting it.
Yeah, I bet you're right. Look, we'll keep an eye on it. James says maybe the Secret Service wraps up this investigation today, so we'll watch for that as we make our way through this Monday. Charles Marino, Daniel Lippman, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.